Now, KCAU 9 News starts with your forecast first.
Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday out there. We've seen mostly sunny skies and just slightly cooler conditions than what we experienced on Monday and Tuesday as we get a live view outdoors from the North Star Community Credit Union camera in Cherokee. Temperatures are now in the 30s, 40s outside, currently 44 in Wayne, 45 in Sioux City, close to 50 in Takema. Checking in with a temperature of 41 in Lamar's, and it's 35 degrees outdoors in Spencer, Iowa right now. We should expect to see some cooler conditions come our way this weekend and also an opportunity at some precipitation for a change. We'll detail that coming up in the 9 on 9 forecast. KCAU 9 News at 5 starts right now.
We are Siouxland proud. This is KCAU 9 News at 5.
And thanks for joining us today. I'm Tim Seaman. Sophie is on leave. Well, as COVID case counts continue to fall, states around the country are starting to lift mask mandates, including in schools. Other states are considering doing the same thing. Our Washington correspondent, Alexandra Lavone, has reaction in our top story at 5.
States around the country are starting to ease mask mandates, including in schools.
There are a lot of people who are frustrated, who are tired, who are exhausted.
U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy says he understands the fatigue people feel, but while hospitalizations are declining in some areas, they're still higher than they were during the peak of the Delta variant, according to the CDC.
When we look at schools, in fact, that have masking, there is less spread and there are, in fact, fewer school closures.
Republican Senator John Thune calls mask mandates federal overreach.
Requiring Head Start schools who provide early education services to low-income families to require toddlers as young as 2 years old to wear masks.
Thune says even the World Health Organization only recommends masking for kids 5 and older.
This is a decision that ought to be made by parents.
White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says most school districts make their own rules. And the White House doesn't oppose the easing of rules by states if they give school districts flexibility.
I think it's important to note they still allow for decisions to be made by local school districts.
Psaki says the White House is concerned, however, about states that ban mask mandates.
We have great concern if a kid or a parent chooses to wear a mask or a school district decides they should keep mask guidance in place, and there are leaders who are preventing them from doing that.
Reporting in Washington, Alexandra Limon.
According to the Sioux City Community School District's Return to Learn plan, masks are still encouraged, but parents are allowed to choose if their child wears a mask or not. Summit Carbon Solutions has advanced its position in South Dakota after filing for a pipeline permit application. Summit's carbon capture and storage project has also filed for a similar permit in the state of Iowa with the Utilities Board. But 20 Iowa counties, including Woodbury, along with 5 cities, are formally objecting to that plan. Landowners that oppose the pipeline say that private companies shouldn't be allowed to use eminent domain on agricultural land. Find out what Summit is saying about the project when Dylan Adams reports on KCAU 9 News at 10. Following a recent spike in murders and police attacks, Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley is speaking out on gun control. His comments coming today during a Senate Judiciary hearing concerning the use of drone strikes by the military. When it comes to gun control, clamping down on homemade ghost guns is one of the Biden administration's primary focuses. Grassley says those types of guns are only connected to a fraction of a % of U.S. murders, and that the strategy is woefully inadequate.
It will do nothing to stop people from being pushed into the front of a subway train, or to stop trains from being looted, or stopping storefronts from being smashed by flash mob attacks, or the many other terrible crimes that we're seeing, and even seeing them on television. We need a more serious policy.
More than 21,000 people were murdered in the U.S. in 2020. That number is up by about 5,000 from the year prior. A Pierce, Nebraska woman was killed in a crash on Tuesday. She was a passenger in one of the vehicles involved. A crash happening near a convenience store on Highway 81 in rural Pierce County. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office tells us that a semi-tractor and trailer pulled out in front of a sedan, causing the car to strike the back of that semi. The vehicle left the roadway and eventually rolled. 36-year-old Cassandra Lacoste, a passenger in that car, died from her injuries. Seatbelts were being worn by both occupants of that car. The Super Bowl and Valentine's Day are back-to-back on the calendar for the first time ever this year. And local restaurant owners are preparing for what should be a boost in business. CESAR DELONA, a owner at La Isla restaurant in South Sioux City, says that preparing for consecutive big events is challenging because of the bulk amount of supplies needed.
The shipping is hard for us because we are in the middle of the U.S. and we got difficulties to get our fresh seafood from the ocean through here, but we got it here.
DeLone says that while he's excited for the upcoming events, he wishes they were spaced out just a little bit more. The restaurant plans regular business hours both Sunday and Monday. Time to check back in with Scott, and I hate to sound like a complainer, but it could have been a little warmer today.
It could have been. We have experienced warmer conditions already this week, and today we did cool off a notch, but still pretty nice for the month of February. As you can see, that highs were spread out in the 30s and 40s across most of Siouxland this afternoon. 49 Sioux City, 44 in Yankton, 39 in Spencer. Tonight, temperatures will tumble to between 15 and 25 degrees. There is actually a chance at picking up on some precipitation. It looks like that'll begin to form as we lead into tomorrow afternoon. It should reach its peak tomorrow night leading into Friday morning, and there could even be a couple of snowflakes that accompany that system. We'll break it all down in the 9 on 9 forecast. We'll talk about a chillier weekend coming up in a few minutes. Tim?
Thanks, Scott. Deere & Company now has a majority ownership of Crystal Electric, a battery technology company in Austria. The deal, announced in December, just became final. Deere & Company has seen demand grow for battery-powered equipment in recent years. The company saying that it will keep investing in and developing technology for a zero-emissions future. Meanwhile, a trucker protest in Canada over vaccine mandates continues, keeping a vital U.S.-Canada trade link bridge closed since Monday. Brett Cast looks at the impact of that protest.
Silent and empty. The busiest international land border in all of North America closed for business in Detroit as protests over Canada's vaccine mandate for truckers continues to block traffic in Windsor.
Nobody's here to help.
Drivers like Harry Mines spent the night in their truck stuck in the U.S. with no food, waiting for the bridge to reopen. He lives just 15 minutes away in Windsor.
We are Canadians. We're supposed to go home, right? So that is also our right to go home.
As the day went on, most truckers gave up waiting, driving nearly 2 hours to Port Huron to cross the Blue Water Bridge. That has led to more backups, and by late evening, the wait grew to more than 3.5 hours.
Ideally, we want to wrap up as soon as possible.
Mike Wall is an auto expert with IHS Markit. He says the Ambassador Bridge is vital to the auto industry, and the longer the closure goes on, the greater the impact it will have on an already fragile supply chain.
If this were to kind of continue on for multiple days, you're going to start to see the impact kind of reverberate through the supply chain.
According to the bridge company, trucks carry more than $323 million in goods across the bridge every single day. Wall says much of that is auto parts, engines, and vehicles, connecting nearby Canadian plants and suppliers to the Motor City.
It's a perfect combination when all the cogs are working, but boy, when you get an interruption like that, it can be incredibly disruptive.
Well, North Dakota is among a growing number of states promoting a Name a Plow contest, and folks there are all on board. The name for Bismarck's snowplow is Darth Blader. The Transportation Service Supervisor says that Darth Blader is a 2017 international plow truck with many features, including a front plow, underbody scraper, and wings. He says that the contest is a way for the public to just have some fun and recognize how much hard work goes into keeping roads clear.
I think it's really neat, personally, because that means that people recognize that we exist. There are people that appreciate what we do and want to have a little fun with us.
In all, 860 names were submitted and 8 were chosen this year. Other names include Truck Norris and Plowsaurus Rex. How about that? Minnesota and South Dakota also have plow naming contests.